The day after the villain went bankrupt, he wanted to end it all. I clung desperately to his hand, stopping him. "Darling, I just bought a new designer bag on a 5-year payment plan. If you go, who's going to pay it off for me?" Suddenly, the scrolling comments flickering in the air exploded. Turns out the villain's greatest punishment isn't death, but having a wife like this. LOL, how's a bankrupt villain supposed to pay off her loans anyway? Yeah, dying now is too easy for him. He should suffer everything the hero and heroine went through first. Why isn't the villain dead yet? Why isn't he dead? If the villain hadn't forced the hero abroad, the heroine wouldn't have suffered washing dishes in a restaurant for 5 years with their kid. Make him suffer for 5 years too. Before he dies, my gaze drifted casually away from the comments, as I continued to plead sweetly with Sebastian Hawthorne. One Sebastian slowly turned his head towards me, his voice laced with disbelief. "Didn't I just give you, like, $1.5 million for living expenses right before I went broke?" My eyes widened innocently. Oh, that little bit of money? It just covered a vase. Perhaps from standing in the wind too long, his voice was dry and trembling slightly. A vase? Seemed like something from the Louis XVI era. "You're not mad at me, are you?" I gently shook his hand, looking up at him cautiously. Sebastian covered his eyes and looked up at the sky, speechless suffering. The wind on the rooftop picked up, whipping his white shirt around him. He looked ready to tumble off at any moment. I tucked a stray strand of hair behind my ear and winked at him. "Honey, come down quickly, it's your birthday today. I even got you a present." I thought for a moment, then added, "I'll give you a few clues: uniform, animal, yellow." Sebastian looked slightly taken aback, almost flattered. "You got me a present?" After all, he had given me countless gifts, but this was the first time I'd ever given him one. Glancing down at the speeding cars below, Sebastian finally stepped back from the edge of the roof. On the table sat a beautifully wrapped, very large gift box. Sebastian's hands trembled slightly as he untied the ribbon. His eyes were fixed on it. Layer after layer of gorgeous wrapping paper came off, revealing a kangaroo courier delivery uniform set inside the box. A kangaroo helmet, a yellow vest, and a folded delivery box. Sebastian picked up the helmet with one hand, a humorless laugh escaping him. He turned and started walking back towards the rooftop. His steps were resolute. Watching his tall, imposing figure silhouetted against the light, I stamped my foot in frustration. Sebastian jammed the kangaroo helmet onto his head. A muffled, low voice came from inside it. "My phone's still on the roof." Sebastian adapted surprisingly well to being a delivery driver. No matter how busy he was with lunch deliveries, he never forgot to come home and cook for me. Watching the man in the kangaroo helmet hurrying along, no one would guess that just half a month ago, he was the tech mogul ringing the bell at NASDAQ. Sebastian took off his helmet, put on an apron, and started cooking in the kitchen. I curled up on the sofa, eating grapes, watching his busy figure. There was no air conditioning in the rental apartment's kitchen. Soon, Sebastian was drenched in sweat. He took off his short-sleeved shirt, wearing only the pink floral apron. His back was broad, solid muscles covered with a thin sheen of sweat. The apron strings were tied loosely at his waist, accentuating its lean line. Oops, my fingers accidentally crushed a grape, juice splattering all over my hand. Hearing the sound, Sebastian rushed over, bent down, and carefully wiped each of my fingers clean with a towel. "Actually, you don't have to stick with me anymore, Vive. I'll pay back the money you owe. Don't waste your youth on me." His voice was tight, his Adam's apple bobbing several times before he could finish the sentence. I pouted, sounding aggrieved. "I didn't ditch you when you lost your money, and now you're trying to kick me out." Sebastian opened his mouth to argue, but I cut him off, continuing my playful tirade. "I get it, you think I spend too much money. What did you say when you first started supporting me? You said you'd take care of me forever. We're not even married. And you're already planning to abandon me. Are you kicking me out so you can marry some hardworking, down-to-earth woman?" "You heartless man," Sebastian covered my mouth with his hand, finally silencing my chatter. He lowered his gaze, his dark, feather-like lashes trembling slightly. "I just feel like you're suffering now, staying with me. The apartment is tiny, my cooking isn't great, even the grapes aren't very fresh. Vive, you should go. Go live a better, happier life. Logically, when a benefactor goes broke, the kept woman should pack her bags and run. especially since he had planned ahead for me, leaving me a substantial fortune. Even with his bankruptcy, I still had plenty of money. But that day, I was only 10 minutes late coming home, and Sebastian was standing on the rooftop. I couldn't leave, and I didn't want to leave. I grabbed his wrist, flipped him onto the sofa, and pinned him down. My fingertip traced the slightly red corner of his eye. "You promised to take care of me forever, Sebastian. Don't even think about shaking me off." The dense stream of comments floated before my eyes again. "Damn girl, eating well. Let me swap places with her for a couple of episodes. Why is the villain still so hot delivering food? I'm seriously thirsty. For the food, of course. Sis, don't get any ideas. The villain and his high-maintenance wife won't have happy endings." Putting aside deliberately messing with the hero, the villain really is tall, handsome, and good to his wife. Can't put it aside, since the hero suffered so much abroad those years. I get angry just thinking about it. Why isn't the villain written out, yet I pretended not to see the comments? I tilted Sebastian's chin up and kissed him, watching him blush furiously from the neck up. His whole body seemed to catch fire. Taking a breath, Sebastian wiped his mouth. "Vive, dinner's ready. Let's eat first." Ah, Ice King to outsiders, innocent puppy to his wife, what perfection is this actually? The villain and the dramatic side character are kinda cute together. I ship it a little. Me too. People up front, don't let good looks sway your morals, don't ship it, since the villain is destined for a plot-mandated death. You enjoy the sweetness now, you'll eat bitterness later. A long time ago, I started seeing the strange, scrolling comments in the air. At first, I thought it was some kind of prank and ignored them. But as real-life events repeatedly confirmed their accuracy, I had no choice but to believe. From their fragmented conversations, I pieced together some information. Sebastian was the villain, and villains were destined to fail. Initially, he was a whetstone to sharpen the hero, later, a stepping stone for the hero's rise. After seeing the comments, I tried hard to change the course of the plot. But Sebastian still went bankrupt. No matter, I had a new plan in mind. Sebastian worked from dawn till dusk, taking orders and delivering food. I lounged at home, eating a small cake Sebastian had just brought me. Suddenly, comments appeared. Wow, the hero finds out the villain is delivering food and specifically orders from him, making him deliver the engagement party cake. The villain's about to get seriously owned by the hero, can't wait, the main character's crew is ready to give the villain a warm welcome. Suddenly feel a bit sorry for the villain. His first thought after getting a big order is to buy his wife a cake, unaware it's a trap set for him. My stomach dropped. I quickly grabbed my new bag and hurried to the largest hotel in Seaport City. Outside the hotel stood a welcome sign for the engagement party of the hero, Ethan Hawthorne, and the heroine, Clarissa Fairchild. Before I even got inside, I spotted a flash of bright yellow. Sebastian, tall with long legs, looked handsome even in the delivery uniform. He was pushing a cake over a meter high when several young men blocked his path. Leading them was the man the comments called the hero, Ethan Hawthorne. Ethan looked Sebastian up and down. The disdain in his eyes was palpable, as if trying to break Sebastian's straight spine. "Big brother, I told you when you forced me abroad back then, what goes around comes around. Look at you now, pathetic as a stray dog." A wave of laughter erupted from the surrounding group. During the years Sebastian and Ethan fought over the family fortune, these friends of Ethan's had all developed serious grudges against Sebastian. Having been suppressed by Sebastian for so long, they were eager to kick him while he was down now that the tables had turned. To add to the fun, Ethan's friend Marcus Miller spoke up. "Ethan, have you heard the funny thing? Sebastian's broke, but his little kept woman is still sticking by him." Another guy chimed in. "Isn't that a waste? With the pennies he earns delivering food now, can he even afford to keep a woman?" The laughter grew louder. Seeing that Sebastian remained silent, Marcus deliberately provoked him. "How about this? I'll give you $150,000. Send your little bird over to my place. If she takes good care of me, I'll." Sebastian lifted his bloodshot eyes and punched Marcus, sending him sprawling to the ground. "You dare?" Hotel security guards rushed over, pinning Sebastian firmly to the ground. Marcus clutched his bruised face and kicked Sebastian hard in the chest. "In your state, who do you think you can protect?" Sebastian gritted his teeth, glaring fiercely at him. "You. If you have a problem, come at me." Ethan gave Marcus a look. Marcus understood immediately. He pulled out his phone, pointed it at Sebastian, and said maliciously, "All right, if you get on your knees and bark like a dog twice, I'll leave your little bird alone." How about it? 5 threatening the villain with his woman. The hero's crew is being pretty scummy here, right? You can't be soft on your enemies. Making him bark like a dog won't kill him. Suddenly feel kinda bad for the villain. How can anyone feel sorry for the villain? What about the suffering our hero went through? The comments started arguing. Seeing many comments expressing sympathy for Sebastian, I breathed a quiet sigh of relief. Just as Sebastian was about to be forced to his knees, I charged forward. I swung my $50,000 bag, slamming it repeatedly onto Marcus's and Ethan's heads. "Kneel for your damn father, kneel for your damn grandfather. Leave me alone? Ethan, what can you possibly do to me? Let's see who doesn't leave who alone." I wasn't worried about retaliation. Marcus and his friends didn't have protagonist plot armor, they couldn't touch me. And the protagonist couldn't break the law. So Ethan couldn't touch me either. I looked regretfully at the creases hammered into my bag, then at their unharmed, thick skulls. A pang of regret hit me. I should have put a brick inside it. Marcus winced in pain, pointing a finger at me threateningly. "You fucking hit me, just you wait." Sebastian pulled me behind him and kicked out at Marcus. But ultimately, they had more people. If a real fight broke out, Sebastian would definitely lose. Just as I was trying to figure out a way out, a Rolls-Royce glided silently into the hotel forecourt. The window lowered slightly, revealing half a face shrouded in cigar smoke. The man had prominent brow bones, with sharp lines etched at the corners of his eyes. He tapped his index finger lightly on the window frame, giving me a meaningful look. 6 Ethan's furious gaze inadvertently swept over the car. He froze for a second. Then he strode quickly towards the hotel entrance. The comments instantly erupted. Here he comes, that man is here, the heir to Hong Kong's biggest conglomerate, so handsome, the Hong Kong tycoon is personally delivering investment to the hero. The hero's about to skyrocket. Has anyone noticed the tycoon's eyes seem fixed on the drama queen? Yeah, I thought that was weird too. Could the drama queen be the tycoon's runaway little darling? I slowly turned my head and met the man's dark, intense eyes. Oh crap, it's Alistair. Sterling. Panic surged through me. I grabbed Sebastian's hand and ran. Sebastian seemed to sense something. He turned his head, his eyes meeting Alistair's across the distance for a brief moment. After we got home, Sebastian didn't ask anything. He closed his eyes, placing a gentle kiss on the top of my head. My heart was pounding with anxiety, and I didn't notice anything unusual about Sebastian. After seeing him off to continue his deliveries, I collapsed onto the bed. Lost in thought, I heard rustling noises at the door. I opened the bedroom door to find an uninvited group standing in the living room. I was about to ask how they got in. Then I suddenly remembered. Alistair had a bodyguard who could pick locks. In the cramped living room, Alistair stood dressed in a perfectly tailored suit. His innate aristocratic air clashed sharply with the surroundings. He raised his eyes, his gaze sweeping over the sun-faded curtains, the narrow, flimsy sofa, finally landing on me. "You're living in a place like this now." 7 Seeing my silence, Alistair sneered again. "Trading the good life back home to come run off to the city and slum it?" I lowered my head, fidgeting with my fingers. "I'm not slumming it. Sebastian's supporting me by delivering food now. He's working really hard. Last week, he even won the top delivery driver award." Alistair rolled his eyes, his disdain practically radiating off him. "He's broke, but you're not. Mom and Dad deposit millions into your account every month, and you haven't touched a cent. What? Is our money tainted? You have to live off someone else to be happy. You're an adult now, stop playing games. Mom and Dad sent me to drag you back." I looked up at the few scattered comments drifting by. Many of them no longer held such strong animosity towards Sebastian, but it wasn't enough. I said seriously, "Brother, I can't go home yet. It's not the right time." Alistair was baffled. "Then when will it be the right time?" I turned my head away. "Don't worry about it, I have my own pace." The comments were flooded with question marks. Brother? What brother? The hero's major backer is actually the villain's wife's older brother? But isn't the drama queen's last name Sterling? Are they really siblings? She's a master manipulator. We're doomed. The drama queen has a secret identity too. Wow, things are getting interesting. Alistair let out a humorless laugh. Don't worry about it, huh? Fine. Victor, knock her out and take her away. 8. To prevent the plot from affecting my family, I hadn't gone home since I started seeing the comments. Alistair didn't need to come personally for a single investment. He came to Seaport City this time determined to drag me home. Lying in the back seat of the car, my consciousness faded in and out. I vaguely heard faint sounds. No way did they just miss each other like that. The villain probably has no idea the drama queen was in the Rolls-Royce that just passed him. So the villain just gets written out in a car crash. Their ending is kinda tragic. The plot-mandated death arrives sooner or later. The villain couldn't escape it. Novel endings always have speeding trucks in the city. Is it just here that trucks aren't allowed downtown? Poor villain, hit by a truck and thrown over 10 meters. His eyes were still looking towards home. I struggled to open my eyes. Seeing the flurry of comments confirmed that what I'd heard wasn't a dream. Tears streamed uncontrollably down my face, blurring everything. My face turned deathly pale. Brother, turn around, quick! The electric scooter was smashed to pieces. A crowd gathered on the roadside. An ambulance siren wailed as it arrived, and bystanders made way for the paramedics. I jumped out of the car and saw Sebastian, covered in blood. My heart felt like it was being ruthlessly squeezed by a giant hand, making it hard to breathe. Is family here? I raised my hand weakly and followed them into the ambulance. To facilitate emergency treatment, the doctor cut open his clothes, revealing a vicious, old knife scar. Looking at that scar, a sharp pain pierced my heart. Why should someone as good as him have to die tragically as a villain? The ambulance sped towards the hospital, siren blaring. While performing emergency procedures, the doctor said, "The patient's condition is critical. Family member, talk to him, tell him to hold on." I wiped away the tears constantly welling in my eyes, choking up several times as I tried to speak. Seeing the screen fill with RIP comments, I clenched my fists, took a few sobbing breaths to steady myself. Leaning close to Sebastian's ear, I whispered softly, "Honey, don't die. The credit card bills aren't paid off yet." 9. I wiped the tears from my face and continued murmuring, "Cartier has a new ring out, it looks really nice. Honey, I want it. And all my dresses are dirty, honey." Sebastian's heavy eyelids twitched, seemingly uncontrollably. The villain was literally annoyed back to life. Damn, I actually don't want the villain to die anymore. This couple is so entertaining, and thinking about it, the villain didn't really do anything that wrong. But he caused the hero and heroine to be separated for 5 years. Have you all forgotten? The villain sent the hero abroad. He didn't lock him up. The hero didn't come back himself. What's that got to do with the villain? The comments started arguing again at this point. I glanced at them, then continued to intertwine my little finger with Sebastian's, chattering endlessly. After several hours of emergency surgery, Sebastian's life was finally saved. When he first woke up, the anesthesia hadn't fully worn off. He sat propped against the pillows, looking dazed. I poked his cheek, finding it amusing. Pulling out my phone and aiming it at him, I coaxed softly. "Okay, nod. Now shake your head. Blink. Open your mouth." "Perfect." Sebastian held his ID card, asking slowly, "What are you doing?" I continued tapping enthusiastically on my phone screen, replying casually, "Oh, I used your ID to take out a small loan to buy a jade carving." "Wow, your credit limit is really high. I could get $75,000. Sebastian blinked. "Huh." He looked even more dazed. I counted on my fingers, then consoled him. "As long as you work hard delivering food, you'll pay it off in 10 years tops." Sebastian nodded. "Okay, I'll work hard." "Nod your head, open your mouth, presto, the loan is yours now. Look up, look down, just got you $5 million in debt figuratively." "I've figured it out, the villain is just the drama queen's plaything." "Did I miss something?" "The heroine is at the hospital too." "Yeah, why is the heroine at the hospital alone?" "Where's the hero?" "I've only been paying attention to the villain and the drama queen these past 2 days. I didn't notice what happened with the heroine." Reading the comments, I quietly lifted my chin. "Admit it, you're all captivated by me. 210, the high-quality translucent jade was carved into a pendant of a lazily resting kitten. Vivid green accents on the ear tips and cheeks gave it a unique soul. I held the small jade cat carving, smiling up at Sebastian. "Honey, look, isn't this adorable? Only $75,000. Before I could finish, the door to the hospital room was slammed open. A furious Ethan Hawthorne burst in, grabbing Sebastian by the collar. "Where's Clarissa? Where did you hide her?" From the comments, I knew what had happened. On the day of the engagement party, Ethan's secretary, the malicious supporting female character Felicity Vance, had claimed she was pregnant with his child. Ethan, recalling a business trip where he'd blacked out, believed her. He was tormented, guilt-ridden, assuming he had forced himself on Felicity. After all, in his eyes, Felicity was still the innocent girl next door. Ethan moved Felicity into his home, assigning the servants who originally cared for the heroine, Clarissa Fairchild, to Felicity instead. Clarissa fainted from anger and ended up in the hospital. There, she discovered she was also pregnant. 2 months along, just like Felicity claimed to be. Heartbroken, she declared she would terminate the pregnancy, cut ties with Ethan forever, and never see him again. Meanwhile, Ethan was unaware of Clarissa's plan to have an abortion. He assumed that because they had humiliated Sebastian that day, Sebastian held a grudge and had kidnapped Clarissa. This plot is getting more and more cliché. The main couple's melodrama is boring, the drama queen is way more fun. The hero is clueless, the heroine won't communicate. What about their poor 5-year-old genius child? The more I watch, the angrier I get. PSA, readers have feelings too. I was angry too. I slapped Ethan's dirty hand away and enunciated clearly. I suggest you head down to the maternity ward surgical unit right now. You might still make it. 11. As Ethan turned to leave, his eyes caught the small cat pendant in my hand. He narrowed his eyes and walked back towards me. "You have this carving. How much did you pay for it? I'll give you double." Sebastian pulled me behind him. He lifted his eyelids slightly, dropping 2 words, "Not selling." Ethan's tone was mocking. "Why not sell? You're bankrupt, why keep up the pretense? Delivering food is hard work. I'm giving you a chance to make good money, my dear big brother." Sebastian's expression remained calm. He simply said, "She likes it, so it's not for sale. Get out." At this point, Ethan completely forgot about Clarissa, stubbornly staying in the room, refusing to leave. Until he said, "If it weren't for the fact that the sister of the heir to Hong Kong's Sterling Corporation likes this pendant, and I wanted to buy it as a favor, this piece of jade alone isn't worth that much." "You sure about this?" I peeked out from behind Sebastian, asking curiously, "So, you want to give it to the Sterling heir, Alistair Sterling?" Ethan nodded. "Well, that was quite a coincidence." I suppressed a laugh, my eyes curving into crescents. "Seeing as you and my husband are family, how about $750,000? You take it away, deal?" Ethan was stunned by my outrageous demand. A curse was on the tip of his tongue, but he swallowed it back. Apparently calculating that the Sterling Corporation could bring him benefits far exceeding $750K, he nodded in agreement. This is suddenly so awkward. This kind of hero is kinda embarrassing. Help, my second-hand embarrassment is kicking in again. I can't even imagine his face when he finds out the drama queen is the Hong Kong tycoon's sister. The drama queen is so smart, scamming the hero. The cat pendant is hers, and the $750K is hers too. Oh crap, has the heroine already gone into the operating room? This main couple is probably really doomed. It's weird, how did the hero become like this? I think the villain has more charisma than him now. Why are people defending the villain again? Would you want to be sent to a foreign country for 5 years? The villain just sent the hero abroad to study. The 5 years was because he failed classes and had to repeat. I'd go, "Do you think I'm not abroad because I don't want to be? It's because I don't have the choice. Me, 10 years in Germany, applause please." Seeing this, I really wanted to send a comment too. Everyone has their own lack of freedom. 12. Sebastian and Ethan were half-brothers, sharing the same father, Robert Hawthorne. The Hawthorne Company was founded solely by Sebastian's mother, Eleanor Hawthorne. Only after her death was it transferred to Robert's name. Leaving the entire company to Sebastian was a promise Eleanor forced Robert to make, her guarantee for Sebastian's future. Robert quickly married his second wife, Margaret Hawthorne, who gave birth to their second son, Ethan. They were both the father's sons, but Ethan had no inheritance rights, so Ethan felt it was unfair. But what is truly fair? If the shares were divided and given to Ethan, would that be fair to Sebastian and his deceased mother? Sebastian was a genuinely good person. When he realized that Ethan, the brother he grew up with, was plotting against him, his response was merely to send the 18-year-old Ethan to study in the UK. Upon returning, Ethan hated Sebastian. Perhaps because the food abroad was terrible. Perhaps because he discovered that his girlfriend at the time, Clarissa, had gotten pregnant, given birth to his child after he cut off contact, and struggled washing dishes to raise the child, living miserably for 5 years. He blamed everything on Sebastian. Sebastian had never done anything illegal, immoral, or truly harmful. Just because of these things, he was labeled the villain, destined for a fatal end. I felt it was unfair too. Ethan could fight for what he wanted. So could Sebastian, and I pulled back from my thoughts. I glimpsed Sebastian's downcast eyes, and a strange feeling stirred within me. He had lost weight during his hospital stay, thin enough to see the hollows of his collarbones. As I looked at him, he happened to look up. I caught the fleeting sadness in his eyes. Sebastian spoke softly. "Vive, I've had this feeling lately, like some unseen force is pushing me towards death. Especially when I saw Ethan just now. I have nothing now, I can't give you anything, I'll only drag you down. I'm sorry, Vive, you should go." I listened quietly, finishing the last grape on the table. Before his words faded, I stood up and walked away. Fine, I'll go. Leaving Sebastian with only the sight of my departing back. What's happening? Is this couple breaking up? My newly adopted daughter and son-in-law, you can't break up, he told her to go, and she actually left. I really misjudged her. Just started shipping them, and now they're feeding me angst? Is this right? Turns out she was just playing with the villain like a pet. Sigh, is there no true love in this world? Wait, look, is the drama queen crying? 13 reaching a secluded corner, I leaned against the wall and slowly slid down. I raised a hand to cover my reddened eyes. Sebastian was trying to push me away again. I was a little angry and a little hurt. He vastly underestimated my feelings for him. My first meeting with Sebastian was a cliché damsel in distress rescue. I was only 12 then, kidnapped by one of my father's enemies. The man, driven mad by bankruptcy, wanted to take me down with him. It was raining heavily that day, pedestrians hurried by under umbrellas. I tried to call for help from many people, but no one dared to get involved. Only 17-year-old Sebastian, driven by sheer courage, rushed forward. It was his first time in Hong Kong. He didn't know anyone, yet he threw himself in front of the attacker's knife, saving my life. I'll never forget those determined, fearless eyes, nor the gruesome scar on his shoulder. Sebastian was taken back to Seaport City by his family to recover, while my father surrounded me with bodyguards, restricting my movements. It wasn't until I came of age and went to university in Seaport City that I finally had the chance to see him again. The chance encounter at the gala that Sebastian remembered was actually meticulously planned by the trembling girl he had wrapped in his coat years ago. 14, I took a detour to the fruit shop downstairs from the hospital. When I pushed open the door to his room carrying newly bought grapes, Sebastian instinctively covered his slightly red eyes. His movement was rushed and awkward. "Vive, you, why are you back? Did you forget something? I'll help you look." "Right, it's too cold outside, my coat is." Although he tried hard to control his emotions, I could still hear the hoarseness in his voice. I grabbed his wrist, pinned it down under my palm, and leaned in close. "What are you mumbling about? Can't understand a word. Come here, honey, give me a kiss." Downstairs, the heroine has already miscarried. The hero still mistakenly thinks it's the second male lead's child. Chaos, it's total chaos. The heroine stubbornly refuses to explain. Seriously, if you're not going to use your mouth, donate it. Really don't want to watch the non-communicating main couple anymore. The main couple is busy tearing each other apart, while the villain and the side character are being all sweet here. Who are the actual leads? Suddenly find the drama queen sidekick and the villain's love story really compelling. Seriously, this setup is gold. Author, please, can't you write a novel called My Tycoon Husband Supports Me by Delivering Food? One want to read waiting for it 111 as the calls from the comments grew louder. I held my breath. My heartbeat grew heavier and heavier, until a strange warmth washed over my entire body. Seeing the protagonist halo materialize above my head, I knew I had truly succeeded. Villains were destined to fail. Fine, then we'll be the protagonists. Wow, they really changed the protagonists. My daughter and son-in-law can be happy. Reader choice FTW, an author who listens this well will definitely get rich. I have a question. Now that he's the male lead, does the son-in-law still need to deliver food? Ha 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 ha, do we really want my tycoon husband supports me by delivering food? Actually, it wouldn't be bad. Looking at the comments before me, I smiled, my eyes curving. Thank you all. The comments went silent 15 after a long pause. A few furtive comments drifted by. Can our daughter actually see us talking? No. Right? Definitely not. Right? Haha, scaring ourselves, I blinked. All right, I'll pretend I can't see them for now. Thanks to the protagonist halo, Sebastian's body recovered much faster than normal. In less than a month, he was fully healed and could be discharged from the hospital. When Sebastian returned from the hospital, the rental apartment was covered in a layer of dust. Putting down his things, he immediately started cleaning. While dusting, he carefully picked up the vase I'd claimed cost $1.5 million and saw 4 large words stamped on the bottom: souvenir shop special. Sebastian looked at me, dumbfounded. I puffed out my chest, brazenly defiant. It was made in the Louis XVI era. By a souvenir shop. Sebastian didn't press the issue, but he couldn't help letting out a chuckle. Seeing the screen fill with ha-s, I felt my face flush slightly for once. Okay, I admit, that was a bit much. The money was actually safe with me. Thinking about it, I took a card from my bag to provide Sebastian with startup capital. After all, delivering food was just too dangerous. Sebastian already had successful projects before. Getting them running again wasn't too difficult. Within 3 months, he had paid off all his debts. The day the debts were cleared, Sebastian and I had a couple of drinks to celebrate. Alistair called again, urging me to come home. That jade cat carving you wanted, Mom and Dad took it. Bring your husband home for the new year to get it yourself, understand? I covered the mouthpiece and whispered back, I know I've wanted to take him home for ages. The only tricky part was, I still hadn't told Sebastian about my real identity. After hiding it for so many years, how was I supposed to explain it? Oh no, why is the son-in-law standing on the rooftop again, daughter? Quick, go save your husband. Don't tell me he couldn't find his wife for 5 minutes and decided to jump again. No, they just solved their biggest problem. What else could be wrong now? Seeing the comments fly by, panic seized my heart. I sprinted up the stairs to the rooftop in 3 bounds. Honey, don't die, I still have debts I haven't paid off. 16. Sebastian slowly turned his head, looking surprised. He reached out and poked my cheek. Exactly how much debt did you rack up behind my back? I counted on my fingers. Yacht maintenance fees, private jet parking rental, and those tiger sharks I'm raising in the Maldives. The night wind blew over, a little chilly. Sebastian took off his jacket and draped it over my shoulders. Okay, fine. Anything. But I just came up to the roof because I saw a bird with its foot tangled in string. I untangled it. Why would you think I was trying to jump? Huh? I looked up, shooting a reproachful glance at the comments in the air. Her expression so funny, ha ha ha, our daughter really can see what we're saying. I knew something was up when she suddenly said, thank you all, that time. I feel like the drama queen has been secretly charming us all along. So our daughter was playing the long game to win us over? I love her. I want to raise a high-maintenance girl like this too. That's my daughter. I had mentioned the comments to Sebastian before. Seeing my expression, Sebastian instantly understood. I made a heart shape with my hands towards the comments. In return, the screen filled with heart-shaped comments. Surrounded by infinite affection, I held out my hand to Sebastian. Come home with me for the holidays this year. I have many more little secrets I want to share with you, slowly. Moonlight flooded the rooftop. The evening breeze gently rustled the trees. I stood lightly on tiptoe and caught my moon.